Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I think I've met everyone, but again, I'm Jennifer and I work for St. Alphonsus Corporate Health and Wellbeing. And today we're going to talk about how to include more physical activity and exercise into our lives and our day. So um, let me share this really quick. Can you guys see that healthy eating plate on your screen? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Do you see that now? Great. Okay. So today we're going to talk about how exercise impacts our body and benefits our health. What are the reasons for increasing our activity? The different types of exercise. We're going to do a little chair yoga activity together, which will be really fun and feels so good. Um, but first of all, I'm going to start with just a little review of last week. So who can tell me the different food groups and how to make a balanced meal? Anyone?
We had fruits and vegetables,
Great. Mm-hmm.
proteins,
Protein, great.
starches, and
Starches,
fats.
perfect. Great. Okay, so in order to have a balanced meal, we want to try to include all of those different food groups throughout the day. We also tend to feel more satisfied or satiated when we include protein, vegetables, higher fiber foods. That sustains us longer in between meals and snacks. And then, of course, being well hydrated. So, part of today, we're going to talk about how we can increase our exercise. And so, when we do that, we want to make sure we're getting plenty of fluid as well. So increasing your activity, making sure that you also increase your fluid. Great. So to build a healthy snack, something that's going to sustain you longer is choosing some type of carbohydrate paired with protein, especially a carbohydrate that's higher in fiber. So that's going to be fruits or vegetables, whole grains, paired with a protein. So some examples could be strawberries and a cheese stick, grapes and a hard-boiled egg, and then including more plant sources of protein like beans, lentils, nuts and seeds, nut butters like almond butter, peanut butter, soy, tofu, edamame. Okay, getting more of those plant sources of protein in our diet. All right. Who can tell me some higher fiber foods? Beans, good.
Lentils,
Lentils, great.
nuts and seeds,
Nuts and seeds, great.
Fruit,
Fruit, yep. Fruits and vegetables, especially with the skin, we get more fiber. Okay, our whole grains, whole wheat breads, whole wheat pastas, whole wheat tortillas, grains like quinoa, bulgur, farro, chia seeds, ground flaxseed. Sweet potatoes have more fiber typically. So choosing those foods that have more fiber. And again, fiber helps our blood sugar, helps our cholesterol, helps us feel fuller longer, gives our gut that good bacteria, and can help reduce our risk for things like colon polyps, which can help reduce our risk for colon cancer. So fiber is really important. All right. And then just something I wanted to emphasize, and I don't know if I did this enough last week, so I just wanted to talk about it again, is making small changes that we can build on, but that are enjoyable and sustainable. Okay. A lot of times that's why different diets don't work, because they can be restrictive, they don't feel good. So we want to try to make changes that feel good. So moving our bodies more, eating more vegetables, those nutrient dense foods, but making changes that we can stick with and that are realistic, okay, and enjoyable, because exercise and nutrition are meant to be enjoyed. They should feel good, okay? Great. Did anybody have a chance to make a SMART goal last week? Okay. Is anybody interested in sharing their SMART goal?
I'm Liz, and I've been eating more salads at work.
Great. So it sounds like you've increased the amount of vegetables you're eating.
Yes.
Great. And how do you feel about that?
I like eating salads.
Yeah,
Are you,
I find salads to be really refreshing, and you can make them in a variety of ways with different toppings. So salads can be really fun. Yeah.
yeah, Fred Meyer's has got salads already made, and they've already portioned out and everything, and they're filling. Just wanted to let you guys know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And so a lot of stores will have some pre-made or pre-chopped items. And they do tend to be a little bit more money, but if you're able to spend a little bit more, that can be nice because they're already prepared. So it makes it a little bit easier to maybe get more of those fruits and vegetables in there, more nutrient dense foods. Great. Okay. Well, I have a poll for you guys. So let's try that. I just need to find it. Okay. So I'm going to launch it here. Tell me what a SMART goal stands for. What does the acronym stand for?
Here. Oh, I find it. It means
Okay, so it looks like we have everybody's responses. Can you guys see that? The results? Okay, so yes, great job. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Okay, so when we're thinking about goals, we want to make them measurable. So some examples are, I'm going to walk for 20 minutes 3 times per week. Okay, that's achievable. It's relevant, it's measurable, it's time-bound, it's specific. Okay, if we're doing something for nutrition, maybe it's I'm going to eat 1 fruit and 1 vegetable to start 5 days per week. Okay, and then increasing that to where we get 3 to 5 cups of fruits and vegetables a day. Okay, so starting out with smaller achievable goals and building on that. And then it doesn't feel like it's so overwhelming. Okay, great, good job. Okay. Go back to our guide. Okay. Okay, so what are the benefits of exercise?
Better health.
Okay, better health. What else?
Put in the chat, but it makes you feel good. Like the endorphin release makes you feel good. It also can help you sleep better at night, and for me, it can help me relax too.
Great, love it. Yeah, so you wrote feel good, endorphins. Yes. So we feel good when we exercise. It's kind of funny how exercise actually gives us more energy. Okay, but sometimes we may not feel like we have enough energy to exercise, right? But if we can kind of get over that hump and get ourselves to do it, it can actually give us more energy, help us manage our stress, our mood, and help us sleep better. And again, reduce our risk for different conditions and diseases, help improve our labs. So lots of benefits to exercise. Okay, so let's look at.
We're going to look at.
So physical activity, again, is one of those 6 pillars of health. So again, we have our nutrition, exercise, avoiding substance abuse, having healthy relationships and social connections, managing our stress, and improving our quality of sleep. Okay. So how does exercise benefit our brain?
Mm.
Anyone?
Maybe more oxygen.
Yeah. More oxygen. Great. Okay. It also improves our cognition, our memory, and like we talked about, our mood. Okay. I had a professor he's my physiology professor, and every lecture he related it back to the benefits from physical activity. And his research was specialized in preventing or lowering the risk for dementia and Alzheimer's. And he really emphasized the importance of exercise and helping that. So brain health. What about our bone health? How does exercise benefit our bones?
Stronger bones.
Great. Okay, so maintaining our bone density. So our bones stop turning over in our early 20s. And so from there on out, we want to try to maintain that bone density through exercise and through getting enough calcium in our diet through foods that have dairy or Other vegetables like dark leafy greens, broccoli all have calcium. Beans also have calcium. So exercise helps us maintain our bone density, helps lower our risk for osteopenia, osteoporosis, especially if that runs in your family. But it also helps maintain not only our skeletal structure, but our muscular structure as well, which then helps us with our balance and preventing fractures and falling later in life as we age. Okay, so eating protein, calcium rich foods, and then doing some type of resistance or weight bearing exercises can help maintain our bones, our muscles, our balance, and help lower our risk for falling and fractures. Okay. Let's see. It also helps reduce arthritis and arthritic pain. Again, helping maintain our muscle mass. And then increasing our strength, mobility, and stability. Okay. How about our colon and breast health? How does exercise help us with those areas?
Well, does exercise help like things move through your gut better?
Yeah. Yeah, it does
Yes.
actually. Yeah. So moving helps increase what we call motility through the GI. So, yep. But research is showing that exercise helps reduce our risk for colon cancer and breast cancer specifically. So, how about our heart health?
Well, when we do cardio, it helps build the heart to make it nice and strong.
Yep,
Right?
good, because the heart is a muscle. So we need to exercise it. Yep. Okay. So exercise also helps lower that bad cholesterol, that LDL cholesterol, helps lower our triglycerides, which is another type of cholesterol in our blood. And then it also helps raise that HDL, that cholesterol, that good cholesterol. Okay. So for women, we want that HDL or good cholesterol. So how I remember is H for healthy or higher. Okay. For women, you want it to be greater than 50 to be considered more heart protective. Okay. So exercise helps lower the bad cholesterol and increases the good cholesterol. Okay. Helps also lower our blood pressure if we have high blood pressure and preventing things like hypertension, which reduces our risk for things like heart attack and stroke and heart disease. Okay. The last thing, another benefit of exercise is, of course, managing our blood sugar. So insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, kind of all interconnected with other types of conditions like heart disease, Alzheimer's, dementia. So exercise can help us manage our blood sugar better. So if we eat and then we take a walk, that's going to help manage our insulin resistance or blood sugar better. So including exercise is important. So so as you know, it's not just about losing weight. I feel like that's such an emphasis in our diet, what I like to call diet culture, diet world. It's all about just weight loss, okay? But there's so many other reasons out there for eating nutrient dense foods and moving our bodies more. And at the very least, it just helps us feel better. So, so keep that in mind and maybe write down reflecting on your own beliefs about why you want to maybe change up your exercise or physical activity. What are the benefits for you personally? Okay. Okay, so is anybody willing to share kind of what motivates you with increasing your exercise or physical activity? What's that, Lindy?
I said I'll share. This last summer, I had both knees replaced, and so prior to that, even walking was painful, and so I've gone through my PT and whatnot, and my goal is that this summer I will be bicycling with my family and swimming. So I gotta work up to that, obviously, but it's been nice to be able to even take short walks through the hallways during our breaks and not be in pain. So I'm like, that's
Yeah,
a benefit.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Anyone else want to share? Thank you for sharing.
For me, just feeling fit, more healthy, having more energy.
Great. Yeah, all good reasons. I've had patients that have told me, I want to be able to do more activities with my kids or grandkids. So even just those things that bring us joy, being able to do more of those. So yeah, so reflecting on your own reasons personally for why you want to make changes, I think is important. And everyone's different. There's lots of approaches out in the world, but you have to do what works for you and what is sustainable for you personally and your schedule and your values. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Let me go back to this. Okay. So how they define the difference between physical activity and exercise is physical activity is any movement that expends energy. So that can include walking, housework, gardening, walking the stairs, general labor activities. And then exercise is kind of planned, intentional, purposeful movement that includes repetitive activities designed to improve our health and fitness. So designed to improve our cardio fitness and how much maybe we can go. So increasing our endurance, increasing our strength. Um, a lot of times as people age, they lose strength and it's harder to pick things up or even opening a jar. And so we want to maintain that strength and flexibility. So exercise that's intentional and planned can include things like weightlifting, swimming, running, cycling, working out at the gym, sports activities like tennis or golf. Um, with that, I would encourage you to choose activities that sound fun. Yeah, going outside that sound fun and that you would enjoy because you're more likely to be motivated and to stick with that. Okay, let's see. Let me go back to my polls. Okay, so I'm going to launch another poll, and this is a bubble, so you'll just type and submit your answer. But what are some of the barriers to physical activity?
Barriers.
So what are some things that can prevent us from doing more physical activity or exercise?
If you're having a bad day,
Okay.
that was Liz.
So time, having a bad day, or maybe something happened throughout our day.
Yes.
Exhausted, overweight, so feeling like we can't do as much maybe.
I walk my dog every day after work.
Great.
So
Yeah, and
I get my exercise.
good. Love it. And animals can be a motivator because they're ready to go. They want to go
Oh,
on their WALK, right?
yeah, we can't even say it anymore. She knows exactly what we're
Yeah.
talking about. So we have to do like sign language so she doesn't catch on, but she's smart. She catches on.
Yeah. Oh, they know the word for sure. Or park. My dog, he's passed away now, but he knew the word park. So, and he was ready to go. Okay. Great. So you might feel exhausted or maybe not have as much energy, maybe feeling self-conscious. I know a lot of people, or especially women, that don't necessarily feel comfortable in like a weight area, like a free weight area, because they tend to be more males. I think that's changing, but being confident and comfortable within the space you're in and around the equipment you're using, I think is important. I'm also going to put access because there are certain areas, especially rural areas, that may not have access to parks, gyms, walking trails, places to hike. Um, then another barrier, especially in Idaho, could be weather. I know it's challenging. We haven't really experienced it, knock on wood, this year, but there's been past winters where there's a lot of snow and ice, and it really prevents people from maybe going on their walk or getting outside. So, or even driving to the mall to do like a mall walk or something. So great. Okay, awesome. Great answers. Let me go back to. Okay, so again, exercise is purposeful, it's planned, it's repetitive, and it's intentional in order to improve or maintain physical fitness. And examples are going on a brisk walk, swimming, going to the gym. Okay. Something a lot of people struggle with is that we just sit too much. And this can cause our body to move only a small amount in very limited ways. And this can contribute to muscle tightness or pain. So moving our bodies throughout the day in a variety of ways can help reduce our pain and reduce our risk for injuries. So let's talk about some ways we can increase our exercise or activity throughout the day, in more simple ways. Let's see. So these might be what I like to call smaller bites of exercise. Um, so that could be taking a 10-minute break and going for a walk, using a standing desk, taking some time to stretch at your desk or use resistance bands, taking the stairs at work, parking further away. So what are some ways that we can just move our bodies more with those little bite-sized movements throughout the day that add up? Because it all adds up. So can you guys think of anything else?
Well, you mentioned most of the ones that that I happen to do, but standing desk is one. So I work online, Boise Online School, and you're either sitting or standing. So
Yeah.
I after this year, I've started doing like almost every other class, or if I have like a half an hour class, I'll stand up for half an hour, and I tend to like move around when I talk too, so that helps. And then I always tend to take a brain break with my students if they're getting a little squirrely and not staying
Mm-hmm.
focused. We
Yeah.
put in something that we're moving to or stretching to or something like that.
Oh, good. Yeah. I love that you include that. I find that I get sore if I sit too long. I have to get up and move or I have to stretch. I can feel it like in my neck, my back, sometimes my sit bones. So it's just important to move around. So yeah. Any other things you can think of how to include like bite-size pieces of exercise throughout our day or physical activity?
I just remembered one more.
This is
when I'm at home, if I'm icing my knees and stuff, if a commercial comes on TV, even if I'm not the one watching it, I'll stop and do like ankle rolls. So
Great.
just something
Yeah, love it.
something loose.
Yeah, I've had some patients that are older and they can't do a lot, but they can use like those peddlers while they're watching a show, or doing even resistance bands while they're watching a show. So so that can be helpful. I love that you include it throughout your day for your students, because that just helps them learn more about moving more and taking care of their bodies. So that's great. Yeah. Okay, I'm still learning how to navigate Teams. Okay, so before I scroll to our next page, let's do another poll. Okay. So what are the different types of exercise? Okay, great. So the answer is all of the above. Okay, so there's 4 different designated types of exercise: endurance, strength, balance, and flexibility. Not in your packet here. So endurance exercises are movement that increases our breathing and heart rate. So we're exercising our heart and our lungs, and we're increasing our cardio. So maybe we start out walking and then we increase it to a brisk walk, a more intense walk. So we're able to walk further and more intense. So endurance helps us with that. So endurance can be things like walking, jogging, cycling, swimming, Zumba. So these improve our stamina and help improve our cardiovascular system. They help our heart so it's able to pump blood more efficiently, and our lungs to be able to breathe more efficiently, and helps us reduce risk for many diseases. Okay. Then our other type of exercise is strength training. So this is where we make our muscles work against a weight or a force. So this can be free weights, machine weights, resistance bands, but it can also be even Pilates or yoga, where we use our body weight as resistance. It can even be swimming, because the water is resistance. So it doesn't have to just be weights. So if you do start doing a resistance training program, it's important to know what you're doing and how to properly use the equipment. So understanding proper form, and only progressing once your body is strong enough. So maybe you do like 10 sets of different exercises with 12 reps. Okay, and then over time that starts to feel easier. So then we can increase the number of sets or reps, or we can increase the amount of weight that we're doing to keep challenging our bodies. If you don't feel comfortable, if you're interested in using like a freeway area or machines and you don't feel totally comfortable with it, see if there's somebody at your gym that can help you, maybe meeting with a personal trainer or a friend that you know is knowledgeable in using the equipment, so that you learn proper form, because that can help prevent injury. Okay, and then the last two types of exercises are flexibility and balance. So here are, let's see, where did that go? Okay, so here's some examples. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Of just some examples of exercises to help improve balance. And this can just be done with a chair or a wall, at your countertop in your kitchen, but practicing a single leg balance and holding it and then switching to the other side, doing a tree pose, which is common in yoga. So as you can see, she has her foot aligned along, like her calf. And then a more advanced tree pose is where you align your foot along your thigh, the inner part of your thigh. If you do a tree pose, make sure you don't align your foot along your knee, because that can press the knee. So along your inner thigh or your calf is the proper form for that exercise. And then weight shifts. Standing and doing side leg raises, with a chair or the wall or just freestanding. And then a lot of different postures or poses can also help with, like in yoga, can also help with balance and flexibility as well. Okay, let's see. Other things that promote balance are Tai Chi and then yoga as well. As you can see, this person's doing different levels of a squat. So that's just showing an increase in flexibility. So partial squat, where the knees are slightly bent, into a parallel 90-degree squat, so there's greater flexibility there, and then into a deeper squat. So moving through that movement, that squat movement, helps increase flexibility. So not just stretching or yoga, but even some cardio classes or weight training can help improve balance and flexibility as well. Okay, so sometimes we may have an approach to making changes, whether it's with our nutrition or managing our stress or increasing our physical activity. A lot of times people will kind of have black and white, all or nothing type thinking. So again, thinking about maybe it's a day where you're really busy and you can't fit in that walk that you want to take. But how could you fit in again those little bite-size movements throughout the day? So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. So I think it's important to write down our goals and do our SMART goals and have a plan, but also being flexible with ourselves, that there may be days where we can't do that physical activity. Maybe we have plans with friends after work, or if there's family in town. So being flexible and knowing that that's okay, and then just getting back on track and keep going. So What do you guys think about that? Yeah, easier said than done. Yeah. I know when I don't exercise, I just don't feel as good. So I want to keep doing it because it makes me feel better.
I on the days that I'm very busy, I like to do at least some stretches, just here at home, like get on the floor and stretch, and maybe a little bit of yoga, and just a mix of everything, just at least to get some stretching,
Yeah.
that makes me feel good.
Yeah, I will admit I've had that all or nothing mindset before. Um, I was a dancer for several years, and so I had this kind of like approach to I wanted perfection. I'm gonna do this because I wanted the perfect workout, the perfect scenario. And as I've gotten older, I've learned that there is no perfection, right? That's not why we're doing this, but that sometimes something is better than nothing, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, and that's all we can fit in. That's okay. So, yeah. So changing our mindset around that. Great. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, you have a question, Lindy?
I was gonna say I have been guilty of doing the all or nothing type of mindset as well, but working my way back into movement and exercising and whatnot, I have found that even like you mentioned the tree pose and the balance and whatnot, I found myself that was one of my balance exercises after surgery when I was doing PT, and I
Mm-hmm.
find myself like when I'm at lunch and I'm waiting for the food to be heated up in the microwave, I'm doing a tree pose or
Oh
something else
yeah,
that's a balanced ones, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then
I love it.
we have different breaks during our classes, and some people go out walking, and some of us stay inside and do like chair stretches or a couple different yoga poses or something like that. So, I mean, it's only a couple minutes, but when you add it up, it actually adds up to quite a bit by the time you're done with your workday. And it's like, oh, thank you. I needed that.
Yeah, and it just feels better. It just feels good. I know if I've been sitting a long time, I just, like I said before, I just don't feel good. I feel stiffer. I need to take some time to get up and walk around or stretch a little bit. Yeah, so that's great. Um, okay, so as far as exercise, increasing exercise and physical activity, again, exercise is more intentional, planned activity. Um, start if you're not familiar with a certain exercise, like maybe there's a class you want to try, like spinning. You've never done spinning and you want to try that. Again, start out slow, give it time. It will become easier. And when it does become easier, you'll feel it and I think I think it feels good. I feel proud of myself when something feels easier because I know that I've stuck with it and I've built up to that. But start out slow and build on that. Okay. Um, so just a note, as important as it is to practice increasing our movement and adding in more nutritious food, it's important to let go of needing to do everything perfectly. It takes an experimentation, listening to our bodies, and being patient with what our bodies are telling us. So again, starting out slow and building on that, okay? But continuing to challenge your body over time. And again, that can be increasing your time, your intensity of a workout, or even just mixing up your workout and doing something different. Maybe you've always wanted to try aquasize, so adding that in. So maybe just mixing up your routine or your regimen. Okay. Um, I'm going to show you this really quick. If you're not familiar with, oops, with weight training, ACE, or the American Council on Fitness, is a great resource. You don't have to be a member to access their fitness library. So you just go to acefitness.org. You can go to the little spyglass and search for resistance bands or weightlifting, free weights. And there's all different articles and different exercises. So they have great articles, and there's usually pictures that show you how to do the exercise properly and to have the right form. And then they usually set up like kind of a routine or regimen. So very good resource if you're unsure about a certain type of activity and want to learn more about that. Okay, great. So again, we need to challenge ourselves gently enough that the activity can still feel enjoyable. We don't want to overdo it. I've done that. I got super motivated one time, went out, did cardio, weightlifting, overdid it, and then I was super sore the next day and couldn't do anything. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to overdo it. So, and that increases our risk too for injury when we overdo it. So start out slow and build over time. It usually takes the first 6 months of any new exercise routine. It will be the hardest, but the body adapts to those changes, okay? And then eventually we want to work up to a combination of endurance, strength, balance, and flexibility exercises within our routine. So that could be something like a brisk walk a few times a week, and then maybe on every other day we do resistance bands or weight training, and we stretch before and after. So that's hitting all those boxes of cardio, strength, and flexibility. So thinking about the exercises or activities you want to do and what that looks like throughout your week, okay? Just so you know, the recommendations, the American Heart Association recommends about 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity, like a brisk walk, dancing, tennis, casual biking, most days of the week. So that would be at least 5 days a week, or 75 minutes of vigorous aerobic activity like hiking uphill, running, swimming laps, intense yard work, or cycling quickly like a spinning class, okay? And you can do a combination of that too. So you could do more intense activity every other day and more moderate activity. So alternating your days. And that also gives your body time to recover as well and prevent injury. So tell me some ideas of how you guys want to incorporate more movement throughout the day. What are some things maybe you've been thinking about that you'd like to try? Sounds like you're already doing some good things. So that's great.
One of the things that I would love to do is the aqua aerobics or the water aerobics, but they always have them during work times. I'm like, I can't take off work to go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I know I'm not in the Silver Sneakers Club yet, but come on now.
Yeah, right. Yes, I've kind of experienced that as well because I was looking at Villa Sport, like just their schedules, because I do like group classes. I think they're fun. And a lot of the ones I'm interested in taking are right during the day. And I'm like, well, I'm at work, so I have to think of something else or find another gym with activities like the YMCA or something. Let's see. Okay, we already talked about that. Oh, I just wanted to mention, so this is a fun example of some stretches you can do at your desk. So bringing up a knee to the chest, the Olympic diver where you stretch your back, stretching your hip by crossing one leg over the other, the twister, the lunge, shoulder shrugs. Still okay to do shoulder rolls too, gently. And then stretching your hands, especially if you're on the keyboard a lot, that can help prevent things like carpal tunnel. And then just gentle neck stretches. So those are some things we can do just at our desk, which is nice and feel good. Okay. And then I am not, this was recommended by a coworker. I'm not as familiar, but there's the Boise Bicycle Project. If you're interested in cycling as a part of your workout, that can give people more access to bicycles. So boisebicycleproject.org. And then also the Fort, through City of Boise, Fort Boise Community Center also has opportunities for exercise, including free weights, machine weights, treadmills, ellipticals, stair steppers, and exercise bikes. So that can be fun both for adults and kids, for the whole family. So, and that brings up a good point. Other people can help motivate us or help us be accountable for exercise. So if we have a gym buddy or we're supposed to meet a group or a friend to work out, then that can help keep us motivated because we know that we have to meet that person and to get our workout so we don't talk ourselves out of it because you've got to go meet that person or your gym buddy to do your workout with. So and then other opportunities, getting involved in group classes, community runs or walks. There's a lot out there that are fundraisers. So in addition to doing something healthy, they help raise funds for lots of different causes, which is great. So, okay, let's do our 10-minute chair yoga. And then I'll take any questions you have. And then we will be done. Let me go back to our guide really quick. On page 36, you can kind of think about movement you're doing, movement you'd like to try, maybe different obstacles or barriers to work through. And then on 37, it breaks it up very nicely into endurance, strength, balance, and flexibility, and then separates that into beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So you can kind of look at those different types of exercises and kind of see what you're interested in. And sometimes we might fall in different categories, like I'm better at endurance, but I might be more so I might be more intermediate at endurance, but I might be more beginner with my strength or flexibility. So sometimes people fall in multiple categories. Okay. And then the last page, 38, can help you write down your SMART goals. Again, making those measurable, achievable, and timely. Okay, let's do our chair yoga, and I think this will be a very nice end to our day and just feel good. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm gonna press play. I want to make sure you
In
can
this
hear
video,
it.
I will guide you through a 10-minute chair yoga routine.
Can you hear that okay?
This routine is good for people with limited mobility or people who are in a chair, or if you're in an office and you don't have much room to move around, this is a great routine to do right where you are sitting down on your chair. So first, let's plant our feet onto the ground. So you don't want to lean back on your chair. If you can, try to sit as close to the edge as possible so your feet are firmly planted onto the floor in a figure 11. Rest your hands, palms up on your knees. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And sigh out. Close your eyes now. Take a deep breath in through your nose.
Panera's packed with
sorry
flavored
about
bagels
that.
just got stacked with even more for just $7.99. Meet our new Asiago bagels.
Bend your upper body forward. Exhale. And return. Now from this position, simply shake your spine first. Focus on the center line of your spine and shake your spine to loosen your body. Imagine all the tension and the tightness that you've accumulated along your spine, gently loosening up from the top of your head all the way down to your tailbone. And if you'd like, you can also do this with your eyes closed. It will help you focus and feel your body a little bit better. Shake, 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 shake. Let's do this for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Now, clasp your hands, stretch up, straighten your elbows, stretch, stretch, stretch. Imagine you are taking your shoulder joint out of its socket. Create space in your shoulders. Breathe in through your nose. And exhale out through your mouth. Breathe in. And exhale. One last time. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And return your arms. Go ahead and shake, shake, shake. Get the blood flowing to your fingertips. And stop. Now let's stretch our sides. So clasp your hands one more time. And stretch up. And now lean to the right side. Look up at the ceiling. Feel the stretch along the side of your body. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And let's bounce here 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now slowly lean over to the other side. Look up at the ceiling. Stretch as much as you are comfortable. Even a little bit is okay. And let's bounce here 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly return to center. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, bring your arm down. Go ahead and shake that out. Great job. And now let's go to our legs. So where you are, just put your heel to the ground. You don't have to have your legs straight. Your heel to the floor. And let's bend down and reach our toes as much as you can. If it's your ankles, that's okay. If it's your knees, that's okay. Just reach so you feel the stretch in your lower back. And now let's bounce here 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it there. And now, if you haven't done so already, relax your neck, drop your neck. Let your whole body hang down. And now also release your arms comfortably by your side, dropping your upper body
5:30.
down to the floor. Take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh out. Let's do 2 more times. Breathe in through your nose and sigh out. One last time. Breathe in and sigh out. From here, slowly roll yourself up, 1 vertebrae at a time, back to center, letting your head come up last. You did great. Rest your hands on your knees 1 more time. Let's rotate our necks now. So first, we'll loosen up the muscles there by tilting your head to the right. Imagine your right ear trying to touch your right shoulder. And now with your right hand, push, give a little bit more weight to feel the stretch a little bit more. Breathe naturally in through your nose, out through your mouth. Feel the stretch. Imagine the muscle fibers loosening up in your neck. And release. Now switch sides. Tilt your head to the left. Try to touch your left ear to your left shoulder. And with your left arm, push down slightly.
Left arm.
And again here, feel the muscle fibers of your neck stretching the tension. Breathe naturally in and out. And release. Now, let's bend forward, just your neck, tilt it forward. And now clasp your hands and use the weight of your arms to push down on the back side of your head, stretching the back of your neck. You can feel it in your upper back. And maybe also your middle back going all the way to your tailbone. Just relax your weight onto your neck. Great job. And now keep your arms there. And now look up at the ceiling, opening your chest, extending your elbows to the side. This opens your chest area. Keep breathing naturally. And return. Lower your arms, and now let's rotate our neck. Rotate. Make sure you sigh out the tension you feel in your neck. And now rotate other way. And stop. And go ahead, if you can, in your chair, give yourself a little wiggle, especially in your waist area, loosening up your tailbone, your hip joints. You can use your arms to shake, 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 shake. Bring circulation to your hips. Especially if you sit down, our hips get closed up. So shake, 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 shake for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for being a great group. And thanks for sharing so much, Lindy. I really appreciate it. And all your, I love everything you're doing, especially with your students. That's awesome. Did you have any questions, or is there anything I can go over?
I did have a question. When you guys send out the post-class thing, can you include that one that had the different exercises? The little like the
Yeah.
tree and that one?
Is it?
It looked like it was a PDF.
Okay. Is it Candy that usually sends
Yes.
those
yes.
handouts out? Okay, I'll make sure, I'll make a note to myself.
And I liked that video. That's a great one to use also.
Yeah.
But don't be in the rolly chair when you're doing that.
Right. Unless you have really good control. Yeah.
I was holding onto the chair with one hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Be careful. Yeah. And of course, don't do anything that feels painful.
Right.
Yeah. So which handout again?
It was the one that had, I think there were 5 different exercises that were shown, like the tree.
Oh, okay.
I know the tree was on of them, and then the, oh gosh, the high lunge posture or something like that.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll be sure to send that to you. And then let me just put this in the chat. I think Candy will send this out too. But these are different opportunities for exercise. So different links to different YouTube videos and resources. So I put those in the chat as well.
Come here, Pika. Come here.
You can see that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thanks for joining, Liz. And
You're welcome.
yeah, when starting out, don't do anything that hurts. If it hurts, then just try to do it more gently, or don't do it. So, and then next week, it will be Liz, who was here earlier, and she's going to go more in depth with nutrition over the next couple weeks. If you guys have any questions for me or need more resources, please reach out. I'm happy to help. So great.
Could these links also be sent in the email that Candy sends out?
The links to the different types of exercise?
Yeah, that you put in the chat.
I believe so, but I'll be sure to ask her. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because it's a lot of great ideas. So.
I'm like, I can't click them all.
Yeah, I know. Look at them all right now.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, you guys have a great evening, and we will see you next week.
All right. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
You're welcome.